Hi, I'm Keith Manier, the lead pastor here at Grace Fellowship. Thank you so much for taking some time to watch this video about volunteering here at Grace. Our church exists to help people meet and follow and share Jesus so that they can live Jesus-centered lives. And we accomplish this through an army of volunteers who are committed to our church and its mission each and every single week. Now here's what's awesome. You too can be a part of that here at Grace. We talk about people moving from being a renter to an owner. Now you know how this goes. When you rent something, ultimately whatever it is, a house, an apartment, a car, it really isn't yours, and so you don't ultimately feel responsible for it. And we see renters at Grace as those who to be honest, they just kind of attend a weekend service, but they don't participate in the local church community much beyond that. But when you move to a place of ownership, just like when you buy a home or own a car, you become invested. The maintenance, the care, the outcome of that thing, it lands on you, and you feel responsible for it. When you own the local church, you become a volunteer here at Grace. You have said yes to our mission, and ultimately to God's mission. You've decided to use your gifts, your talents, your resources to further not only the mission of Grace, but ultimately the kingdom of God. At Grace, we believe that each and every person is gifted with talents and skills, and even the Bible talks about this. It talks about it in Galatians and 1 Corinthians and Acts. It says that we're given these talents and gifts and are wired in a unique way to benefit and help others. Volunteering at Grace gives each of us an opportunity to use those gifts to better not only our church and community, but ourselves as well. So here's the thing. Once you find your fit and you've committed to a volunteer role, here's how you can win as a volunteer at Grace. A few things. Number one, communicate well. When your team leader reaches out to you, it's so important that you respond back. When you've been scheduled, it really helps us if you'll respond within a few days that we know whether or not you can serve. When you'll be out of town, make sure you communicate that with your team leader so that they're able to find a replacement. If you've got questions or concerns about your role as a volunteer, make sure you talk about that with other teammates or your team leader. And if you do not think that this is the right fit to serve in, just make sure you communicate that. The first thing you can do to win here at Grace as a volunteer is just take the communication responsibility really seriously. Secondly, be reliable. I mean, this might sound a little bit heavy-handed, but because our church runs on volunteers, when you're supposed to show up, we need you to show up. Some of our volunteer roles ask that you would spend time before even you serve to be here, to prepare. So it's important that we know that you're reliable and you're prepared and you come ready to serve. Thirdly, be present. Being present means the place you are supposed to be and the people you are supposed to be with have your full attention. In fact, sometimes we'll even say, make sure that you are here now. When you're there, be there. It's so important that you show that presence in your ministry role as a volunteer. Number 4, be an owner. We have a desire here at Grace that our people would not just volunteer, but own. I mean, we want volunteers to know that when you volunteer, you're owning the church. You're owning someone's first impression of our church. You're owning a child's first impression of ultimately not just the church, but even God. And we want our volunteers to take that to heart. So as you're serving, always look to see what you can do to make the ministry better and successful. If you see a need, meet a need. If we have a church full of volunteers that own the ministry, man, our mission will get accomplished in incredible, incredible ways. At Grace, we want our volunteers to know and understand that they're part of something that is just much larger than what's right in front of them. By sharing your gifts and talents and time, you're making an impact within the walls of our church. But more importantly, you're making an impact to those people attending at a weekend service or an event that will carry with them long after this whole thing is done. When this video ends, we want to be sure that you click the campus you attend, find the serving role that will be your best fit, and fill out the application so that someone from our team can get promptly back to you. Thanks for even considering volunteering, and we look forward to the way you'll be able to help the mission of Grace go forward.